Welcome to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is a National Alliance on Mental Illness. We are the largest grassroots advocacy network for people with mental illness and their family members, with over 800 national affiliates and 13 Kansas affiliates, with NAMI Wichita being one of those 13. We provide awareness, support, education, and advocacy for people affected by mental illness. Our purpose here is to provide a community conversation on KSUN Radio that gives insight into what it's like to live with a mental illness. Our intention and our hope is that our program will change attitudes, assumptions, and stereotypes about people with mental health conditions, and in so doing, we will stop the stigma associated with mental illness. My name is David Larson. I am very pleased and proud to be your host today, and I am a person living with mental illness. I am in recovery from major depressive disorder. Like everyone, I struggle with the ups and downs of emotions and the challenges of being fully human, but I am doing great. And I know I have many gifts to offer my family, my friends, and my community. Before I get too far into the program, I want to introduce David Peterson, our executive producer. Hello, David.
Hello, David.
And our technical producer, Mike Padilla.
Hello, David.
Mike.
Hello, David.
Thank you both. Oh, and I forgot Matthew. We need to introduce Matthew again. Hello, Matthew.
He's assisting us.
What's going on, everybody?
Yes. Thank you all for being here to share with me and our guest today. And speaking of our guest, it is my pleasure to introduce our guest, which is Tatiana. Hello, Tatiana.
Hello, everybody.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you for the invitation.
You bet. Let me begin our conversation by asking you one of my favorite questions that I ask everyone, and that is, where were you born?
Oh, my goodness. I was born in Cuernavaca, Morelos, Mexico.
Okay. That is beautiful how you say that.
Oh,
say that
thank you.
again.
Cuernavaca, Morelos, Mexico. And if you want to know, we call the Eternal Spring City because the weather over there is just gorgeous.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh.
Full of flowers.
That sounds like a place to move to.
Yes.
Whereabouts in relation to Mexico City? Or is
It is like 45 minutes far from Mexico City.
Which direction?
South.
South.
Yes.
Okay.
But I live in Mexico City almost all my life.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and what high
Isn't
school did you graduate from?
Hey, isn't Mexico City one of the largest cities in the world?
Well, yes. It's
didn't
the
know that.
relation between
Yeah.
the population and the land.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
one
And
of
it's
the-
crowded.
Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
Very crowded.
Yeah,
That's
it's
amazing.
Mexico City and surround is about like 23 million people.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's huge.
It's big.
That is
it's huge.
Lots of people.
tremendous.
Yes.
Okay, well, what high school did you graduate from?
And my high school name is Universidad del Valle de México.
Okay. And did
Why
you
would
have,
they, if it was a high school, why would they call it a university?
I know.
Isn't that weird?
Well-
It is weird, but they have the high school and the university together. So they call Universidad del Valle de México, and they have schools everywhere.
Oh, right. Well,
Yes,
yeah.
in all the country.
I said, well, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did that have a mascot?
No.
Okay.
We don't have a mascot.
Okay.
When I went to the university, I'm from the UNAM, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México, we had a mascot, and it's a puma.
A puma.
Yes,
Oh,
a
that's
puma.
nice.
Yes.
All right. So you're the
Very
Pumas.
nice. Yes.
Okay. Well, do you happen to have a family member that is dealing with mental illness?
You know, yes. My father-in-law, he has a very deep depression.
Okay.
But I took a course actually with David, Family to Family.
Uh-huh.
And you know, when I finished, I remember another member of my family, and that hit me very hard because we couldn't help him. I didn't understand the illness. And sometimes he was out of my house for all day and for all night. And my family was saying, oh, leave it there. Leave it there. He will be tired. We didn't understand. We didn't understand that he was sick.
Yeah.
And I didn't remember until I finished the course. And I said, oh my goodness, we did this and we didn't have any conscience about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now my father-in-law, has been improved, and we improve as a family to support him.
Excellent.
And that was very nice. And I regret a little bit that I didn't have the information that I got from family to family to help my other member of the family.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that can be frustrating, but it's good that you not only took family to family, but you also got trained to be a teacher for family to family, didn't you?
Yes.
And you are. I think I have a little bit of time to share. Tell us when your Spanish family to family will be.
I'm very happy because this is the first time that we are going to teach this
Yes.
course in Spanish. And we are going to start the course in September 9th,
Uh-huh.
and it's going to finish in December 2nd. And we are very happy because this is a great opportunity for the Hispanic people.
Really fast, where is that going to be taught at?
This will be in an office that is in 1999 North Amidon Street.
Okay, so it's North Amidon, 1999.
Yes.
All right. Well, I have to come to a break now. So
Absolutely.
let me say, this is Our Own Voice on Cason Community Radio. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and Cason Community Radio. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Our Own Voice is intended to humanize a misunderstood, highly stigmatized topic of mental illness by showing that it's possible and common to live well with a mental health condition. Now, Tatiana, when we were on break, I was going to ask you how old you were when you first encountered mental illness in your family, or in your family.
I think my first experience was with this family member that came from my political family side. And I was like around 30 years old.
All right. So actually later on in life rather than earlier
Yes.
on in life.
Yes. I mean, in Mexico, it's difficult to talk about somebody who has mental illness.
And
We don't talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
That would be the stigma. So
Yes.
so what kind of stigma is involved within a Latino family?
People feel shame,
Okay.
first of all, because they feel that they did something wrong when they have their child. And it's very important for the culture, the society, that you have a perfect family, that your family is fine, and when something is wrong, you are going to hide that. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter that you don't have more money, you are broke, you don't have job. All that things are hiding.
Yeah.
You don't want that anybody knows
Okay.
that. So imagine if you have a family member that have a mental illness. It's forever.
Yeah.
So you don't talk about it. If you can put it in an institution, that is great. And in the educational field, they need to go to different schools. We don't have that kind of integration to the educational system. The people with special needs, they go to a different school. And people who has mental illness go to different school, or they don't go.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So they're held back or just
Yes.
put in a closet, so to speak.
If they don't discover the illness in the early age, they go to the school normal. But when they go and start the adolescence, all these mental illnesses start to
Yeah.
came. So it's in the moment that they start to isolate that person.
Yeah, I think that mental illness, about 50%, is that right? The figure? 50% of mental illness makes its showing by age 14 or 15, something like that. And
The idea then is that if you have an illness or an issues when you're young, you have to try and correct it or make it better before it becomes a true disease.
right, yeah. And so we within NAMI are always striving to bust stigma, to get rid of stigma. And so, what ways have you learned about getting rid of stigma from being a NAMI?
Information,
Information.
education.
Education.
Okay.
It is so important. And for the Latino community that they have living in another country sometimes when they are immigrants, they don't speak the language. Education and information is the best tools that they can have.
That's
And everybody,
wonderful.
I think everybody.
Yes, that's very true. Even for the mass populace of the United States,
Yes.
we need education and information to help bust stigma.
And as a society, we need to do it.
Yeah.
We need to work together.
Yeah.
Now, I need to tell you that surprised me when I came to the United States 15 years ago that in the educational system, they have people with special needs and they are integrated. So we used to be with them, to work with them, and that is fabulous. Now we need to do the same thing with the people who has a mental illness.
Yes.
Because it's an illness like a cancer or another kind of illness. You know, it's a biological illness.
Yes.
So we need to integrate them like another special need person.
And I know that I sound like a broken record when I say this, but a mental illness is a biological illness that affects one of the organs of the body, and that organ just happens to be the brain.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And you mentioned in the last show that we had that one of the ways that you can fight against your mental illness is to be in a place where you can socialize. So that's interesting that you said that like the people who have mental illness in Mexico, they kind of like push them
They
out.
ostracize them.
So it's really making it worse. Instead
Yeah, it
of-
Yes,
is.
it is.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
very true. And that's something that people don't realize is that being around people, number one, it helps actually build serotonin in your brain, so that the serotonin hormone that you need is built up in your brain.
And that
it-
explains why you have such a big head.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, well, with that, I'm going to come to a break and say this is Our Own Voice on KSUN Community Radio, and we will take a quick break and be right back.
If you would like to learn more about the National Alliance on Mental Illness and how you can get involved in mental health advocacy, please visit our website at nami.org.
Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Now, Tatiana, let me throw at you this question, and it's something that I just thought of. You came to understand NAMI rather early, didn't you? Or rather recently, I should say.
Yes, last year.
Right? Last year.
Yes.
How did you come to know NAMI?
You know, I had this problem with my father-in-law. He was very depressed. We couldn't handle the situation very well. So I commented this with my friend Romy Vargas, and she came and said, I have the perfect place for you.
Wonderful.
And he talked about this course that it's family to family.
Mm-hmm.
And I said like, oh my goodness, every Monday, I'm working. And I said, okay, I will do it.
Yeah.
And it was the best decision ever.
Wow.
Yes.
Because I learned how to understand the illness. I learned valuable information, not just for my family, for my students,
For yourself.
for
too.
myself, for my community. And I say, how in the world we don't need, we don't learn these things?
Yeah.
You had a wonderful
Before.
instructor too, I'm sure.
Oh, my instructor, beautiful.
Who was your instructor?
A person named David.
David.
Yes.
And it wasn't you, David.
It wasn't me.
The other
No.
It
David.
wasn't you. It was Peter.
David Peterson.
That's right.
All right. So yeah.
It
Very
kind of makes
nice.
you wonder why some of the things that you learned in that class aren't taught in regular junior high or middle school or whatever.
Or as a teacher.
Or
at the
just as a teacher,
university.
right,
I mean,
yeah.
as a teacher, you need to know your students and the changes that can occur, and also how to help that students to interact with the others.
Right.
Because sometimes when we see somebody different, oh my goodness, that is scary.
Yeah.
But if we have the information, if we know what is happening, we understand and we can work with that. We can pull our best qualities like compassion, like be flexible, and work with them.
Yeah.
And that put you in a position to work with yourself and the other person.
So you're a teacher where then?
Yes, I'm a teacher at Mays. I'm teaching at Mays South Middle School and Mays Middle School.
And what do you teach?
Languages.
You-
No English.
You couldn't figure that out.
You teach Spanish. You teach Spanish,
Spanish
and
and French.
Yes.
Yes.
And we had a wonderful short dialogue when you first came in
Right.
with my French. So yeah, my French is very poor.
No, it was good. Your pronunciation
you
is
made
nice.
it. You made an attempt.
Yeah.
We admire that.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story later on about my French. So
Perfect.
And to piggyback off of what you just said about how it should be talked about more in terms of like mental illness. Mental illness is something where it's your brain. So it's like if you have a broken arm, that you can see it, take care of it, and then it's fine. But
And then it's fine, right?
right, but with the brain, you can't necessarily
Yeah.
look into it just as easy as a broken arm. So it's
Right.
like you would think that being that it's so complex that we would take more time to look into it, but it's funny that we
Exactly.
don't.
Exactly.
point.
Yeah,
You
and
can
that is-
see the symptoms,
Yeah.
but you cannot see the illness.
Right.
Besides the idea that if you have a broken arm, eventually it's going to heal. I'm not so sure about your illness from a,
Well, yeah,
a mental aspect.
You do have healing. It's called recovery.
Okay.
And living in recovery. I currently am living in recovery.
Really?
But what that means, it doesn't mean that I've reached an endpoint.
Right.
It means that I have developed coping skills, techniques that help me move from day to day, from moment to moment, so that my depression, my depressive disorder
Is kept
doesn't
in check.
it doesn't get the best of me.
You
And
never stop learning either.
no, you don't.
Right.
That's very true. Really fast, what are some of your hobbies?
My best hobby is traveling.
Traveling.
I love it.
And you just got back from traveling, didn't you?
Yes, I got three trips already. I went to New York, Canada, and Mexico, to Chiapas.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
I went to see the Lacandons, indigenous, and the Chamulas. Very interesting group of people.
Oh, wow. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Amazing.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, Lola.
Lola, who is?
Yes.
And
it's
what
a-
is Lola?
Lola is a mini schnauzer,
Oh,
super intelligent.
wonderful.
Sometimes I think that she is able to talk to me.
Well, and do you want to give a shout out to your family?
Sure.
What? Go ahead and name their names, their first names.
I want to say hello to David, my husband, Bruno, and Ivan, my two kids.
Okay,
Excellent.
and your two kids are?
Ivan, he is in Reno, Nevada, and Bruno, he's here, and he's a musician.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Well, so this is Our Own Voice on Kaysen Community Radio. We're talking with Tatiana, and we are going to take a quick break and be right back. Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and Kaysen Community Radio. NAMI is a national alliance on mental illness. Now, David, normally I asked for that number. I didn't because I was carried away with Tatiana, so go ahead and give us that number. That is our information line.
I will definitely do that, and I don't blame you for getting carried away. It's just a riveting
Fascinating.
story.
Yes.
But at first, I want to mention that peaceful music you hear was composed by our own David Larson, and
Thank
it's
you.
Very peaceful.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
peaceful.
so
You
much.
should hear the lyrics. The lyrics are just
There
phenomenal.
are no lyrics. I don't write lyrics.
Oh, okay. Well,
But our number
I've
for
read
NAMI
lyrics.
is 316-686-1373, 316-686-1373, and call us and we'll tell you about our support groups, our classes. But I can't give you the number for the Spanish class because you could call me, but I can't talk with you. So, Tatiana, could you give us the number to call for Spanish class?
Absolutely. You can call to my phone is 316-299-8728. And I'm very happy that this is the first time that we are going to have a Spanish family-to-family course in Spanish here in Wichita. So
Yes.
this is fabulous.
It
Could you
is
give that
absolutely
number one more
fantastic.
time?
Sure, it's 316-299-8728.
Wonderful. Now you're doing something else with the Latino community here in Wichita that is coming up this month, right?
Yes, this
It's-
month is super important.
It's coming up July 11th is the event.
Yes.
Tell us about the event.
We are going to have a National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And to celebrate this, we are going to have this event in July 11th. We are going to have a wonderful panel with professionals about mental illness, and we are going to have a session of questions and answer.
Yes.
Our moderate person will be Dr. Rhonda Luis, and that will be fabulous because, like we say in the beginning, information and education is the best tools
Yes.
to continue have hope in this path.
That's right.
So I think it will be incredible. At the end, we are going to do a resource fair. So we are going to have different people from different areas to help us in this path.
Right, and that will be at the Wichita State University Metroplex.
Yes.
Room 180, I believe.
Yes, it's in 29th Street North and
yeah.
Oliver.
Yeah, 29th Street and Oliver,
Mm-hmm.
and
The times on those are what?
the time will be from 6:30 to 8
Mm-hmm.
for the event, and then the resource fair will be from 8 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
We are going to have a special section for people who doesn't speak English and speak Spanish, and we are going to have a translation, simultaneous translation.
yes, which is wonderful. That and I'm trying to remember who are the people that that donated the translation devices for us. Do you remember?
Yes, it's a church, and they are working with special disabilities.
Yes, thank
Yes.
you. So wonderful that they were able to help us with
Yes.
that, and a lot of help with a lot of people. The
Yes.
whole program is just absolutely tremendous. So
And the most important thing is that it's free, no
Yes.
charge.
free, no
so-
charge.
Free
it's,
is
Yeah.
everything.
yes, it's for everyone. Even though we say minority mental health awareness event, it is for everyone. So everyone who's listening, you really ought to consider coming. It's a wonderful event to learn, to ask questions, to discover.
Yes.
Yes. So let's see, what else can I throw at you? Let me throw at you, who is your hero or heroine?
Well, I have a lot.
Go right ahead.
But I think my father,
Okay.
he was a professor, and it was amazing when he passed away. That place was full of all his students. And in 1 minute, they start to applause, and the applause was eternal. And I think he did a wonderful job, not just with his family, with all his students.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
What did he teach?
He used to teach economics. He was an economic professor.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think what I'm going to do now is, because we're coming up to our end here, give us your number again for that
Absolutely.
Spanish family-to-family class.
Sure. It's 316-299-8728, and also it's free of charge.
Yes, the Spanish family-to-family class will
Yes.
also be free of charge.
Yes.
All the programs that NAMI does are
All the programs and support groups.
and support groups are free of charge. With that, I think I'm going to say this has been Our Own Voice on KSN Community Radio. We are talking, or have been talking, with Tatiana about mental illness, and join us for our next Our Own Voice program.